Hey guys, sorry, I kind of forgot about this. uh, let's get started without further ado. And as last week we have the same A, we are like having the same A in the file chat. It's not so much fun now here, so we need to like make it make more fun probably here. Yeah. So let's get started. And as usually, I'm like making some review of what was happening in waves last week. And then you ask me questions, and I think you can just time your questions. You can, of course, speak up and ask the questions orally, like using your voice. It's okay as well if you want, but if you don't, if you're like too lazy or you're like really anonymous or you are a troll, whatever, you can just time them in the chat. I think it works pretty well. So what was happening last week, and let's probably focus on today's event. Basically, we've launched finally we've launched voting for the Wave DAO, and there is like several proposals. I think 3 or 4. I haven't checked. I think at least 3 proposals from different teams, and a couple more teams will make their proposals next week. So we are live. It's time to vote, guys. It's time to move. Yeah. So if you have any project on Waves, if you want to do something, you can apply for those funds, because as you probably know, I don't think there's too many like not Waves people here, so probably you follow this. You know that this Waves DAO is pre-funded. There is some funding, some kind of donation from surplus funds and assumed on virus. It's a long story, but let's not go into too much detail right now. But there is like close to $1 million there. It's like maybe a little less now because of the exchange rate. And basically the idea is to distribute it to projects on Waves. So it's time for you to participate. And who can participate? People who stake their power tokens in Waves DAO. New people will be able to participate in 3 months. This is how it works. There is this like settlement period, which will happen in 3 months when the KPI are measured. KPIs are measured and settled. Takers receive profits or slashed if they're not making any profits. But I think this like this for the first trial run, I think there is not going to be any slashing, but in future there will be slashing, and it means that you will be able to like join the fun in 3 months if you haven't yet. So that's how it works. But in any case, if you have some projects on Waves, or maybe some projects just in general, come and post your ideas on the forum. And if people like them, they will vote for them, and they will probably provide you with some funding. So it's on. Please participate. This is very important for Waves because it's something that should actually push our ecosystem forward. And I have very high hopes for it. I hope that this is going to be like the main vehicle for funding on Waves. Basically, everything should be decentralized, and our goal is just to create mechanisms, not to like lead the mechanisms, like or like lead the people towards like the bright future. This is not what we are trying to do. We are trying to create a mechanism for people to lead themselves. So it's different. And I think this is like a very good step forward. Despite that we don't have that much funds, and despite all those problems that we are facing, we're moving forward, and nothing can stop us. So this is the most important thing this week. Finally, it happened. What else? What else? was significant. Okay, maybe like this is something I'm thinking about right now, so probably let's just answer your questions, and maybe when I remember something else, I'll review it. So let's just take a look at the chat. Sorry, microphone. Can you hear me well, please? Somebody tell me. Guys, can you hear me? Okay, thank you. Yeah. So yeah, so not so much activity, but it's okay. You know, like we are very like close circle, like tightly held together. Yes. Okay. So let's just get started with the questions, and please give me more. I have a question for the Jacques KR is asking, do we lose our locked BTC WXG on virus? Is action from me required at the moment on my locked BTC? No, you're not gonna lose it. Yeah, you can't withdraw it immediately. And there's also a proposal on WX to channel the tokens that are being bought back on WX to those various markets. And this is a community proposal. You need to understand that. And there's a guy who came up with this proposal. It seemed to be like reasonable, and it was put up for voting on WX. So if you think that it is like a reasonable proposal, you should vote, because I don't see that much activity. And after all, it's a community proposal. Guys, please vote if you think it makes sense. This week, yeah, Virus. This week on Virus, there was a proposal accepted that a portion of protocol profits should go to like resolving that bad situation on Virus version 1. So there is not much activity on Virus yet. Maybe we should come up with some other proposals. I think that, for example, 20% maximum interest is probably too low. It should be maybe 40. Maybe we should vote for this proposal next week. And in general, your situation will be resolved together with like general improvement of waves situation. So guys, please be patient. Maybe we'll come up with some other things to make it faster. So for now, please stay put, and please participate in various governance, you know, so because this is all meant to basically help resolve the situation faster. Why can't you start the redemption with small WXG tokens when there are almost no problems? Yeah, there's like not all the tokens on WX have issues, but it just takes time, and it will be done one by one. So really, believe me that it's not so easy actually, due to a lot of legacy on WX gateways, all WX gateways, and like the guys are a little bit overloaded, but they will move forward with maybe like several tokens each week, because the withdrawals were canceled, USDT withdrawals, and now they can focus on this. So this thing will move forward, and it will be resolved because there is not much problem with smaller tokens. This week, BUSD was swapped into the new tokens, into new bridges tokens, and I think it worked out quite well. Say something upcoming to be able to make my summary. Hi, Galina. Happy to see you as always. So next week, yeah, so I would like to focus on the proposals for PowerDAO. There is like several proposals, which is important for the ecosystem to move forward. Also, I haven't mentioned the miners proposal. Miners should help the ecosystem as well because they're basically helping themselves. So guys, I think you understand that your decision matters now. So it's like decentralized, but I suggest that you consider it like really closely, and you make the right decision. The miners proposal, I think, is pretty balanced. It tries to to combine different things. It's like there's no ideal solution to this, but I think this one is pretty balanced. So please vote for it because I think it's a great way to basically kickstart the ecosystem right now. The voting has started. Some miners voted already, and it's not like finished yet. So if you have any questions, we can discuss further in the notes chat. I'm always available, and I explained my reasoning many times, but I can do it again. If you have any ideas, questions, let's just discuss. Because I think this decision has to be made collectively. Not there doesn't have to be any kind of pressure. So let's just be on the same page. How do you like the idea of making an additional fees for the withdrawal and deposit of Pepe tokens, which will go to the buyback of WXD? I wouldn't mix the two projects, because Pepe is like a different thing. So if we try to to attach some legacy to it, it can basically kill Pepe. Not kill, but maybe really hamper its progress. So I wouldn't do that. Let's just keep things separate here. So maybe we can come up with some other cash flows for the buyback. Still, obviously, talking to VC funds, there is some progress. It's not going to happen fast, but I think something will happen within maybe a month or two. Please ask more questions so I have things to listen to while drawing. Thank you for your beautiful avatar for the group. Question from Vola. Sasha, what's the most important piece of DeFi on Waves currently? Let me think a little. Yeah, so some DeFi overview actually on Waves of some things that are coming. There's a new project launching. As far as I know, there's a proposal already in PowerDAO. This is actually, and it's leveraged yield farming. It's not a new idea. There is a couple of projects like that on Ethereum, but it's pretty interesting. So basically, the idea is to allow you to earn more money if you do yield farming. Basically, you borrow some funds and you can have some leverage in the pools you provide liquidity for. It's an interesting idea. It worked out pretty well for a couple of projects on Ethereum. So I think this is a missing piece that we didn't have on Waves. Now it's coming. Leverage yield farming. Also, there is another project on Waves which is called Tsunami. I think it's great, actually. unfortunately, currently we don't have that much resource, but with a very limited funding, actually, the team was able to come up with a very beautiful product, actually. I think you should take a look at Tsunami. It's basically it's a DEX or waves for derivatives. It's like, and now they're like creating a new mechanics on Tsunami for spot trading. There's going to be also a swap protocol like Uniswap, probably closer to some other protocols with like more advanced automatic market making formulas. Basically, there is, I forgot its name. Basically, the idea is to create more efficient swaps. So there is an Oracle price, which is used to move the distribution of liquidity, and it makes slippage less. So it's pretty interesting. So we didn't have that yet on waves, like more complicated automatic market making approach, and now it's coming. So basically, we have everything that was created on other chains. What could be missing though? Let me think. Actually, we have everything, So yeah, probably maybe if I'm not like suggesting that we should do that right now, lending protocols, Virus, of course, puzzle lending, and I think those like pooled lending protocols have their issues basically, as you know. So probably it would be good to maybe come back to that idea of peer-to-peer lending, because initially lending protocol started with this. It was all peer-to-peer. The first approach is even like the most famous probably project, Avi, initially had a peer-to-peer market for loans, and then they came up with this like pooled idea, which works pretty well in terms of like bringing new liquidity, but it does have some issues. So maybe we could think about creating some like peer-to-peer protocols that don't have those issues, and those issues are inability to withdraw funds in certain conditions. And it's not only on waves, so it's not only virus. There has been similar situations in other protocols on different chains. So maybe we should think about that. And as for DeFi, maybe I have to think a little bit more what is missing, because there is a lot of so many people are doing DeFi right now. It's pretty hard to come up with something unique. And if you want to come up with something totally new, probably you should just maybe move into some other direction, because DeFi is like exploring only one direction, I guess, currently. So it's coming from basically Uniswap, from pooled liquidity, and maybe we can just step aside and think about some other approaches. Okay. Sasha, LTC, WXG, any update? Yeah, I think buyback should start like very soon. Probably I'll try to talk to support team and make sure that smaller tokens which have issues like LTC will be bought back starting from next week. Galka in Waves 2.0 will be burning mechanics. I think it will be even before actually. For the current chain, I think we need to come up with some like burning, because it could actually somehow cancel out the surplus inflation, which we have now. I think we need this inflation right now, but on the other hand, it would be good not to inflate the supply too much. So burning of fees could help. Not all the fees, but 50% of the fees, because you can't burn all fees, because in this case, miners don't have an incentive to include transactions in blocks, which is not good. But you can burn half. When XTN trading bots? Yeah, good question. There is something to be done on viewers for this, like unlocking of XTN. And next week, yeah, it could happen. Sasha, when Galina admin? Good question as well. So we need to decide for this group. Either we use community ban bot, voting bot that can ban accounts through a voting procedure. When people vote to ban some account and it is banned, or we appoint some people here to be moderators. It's up to you guys. I actually like the first idea better because it's like decentralized. And what are we doing here? We're doing decentralization despite all the problems, issues, and FUD. We are here to decentralize. Decentralize. We are here to decentralize. So it would be strange if there is only one moderator in this group. So let's try to make this group properly decentralized. Not so many people here today, but it's okay maybe. You know, when you don't have that much news, it's good news. Sometimes, at least, you know, during the troubling times we are facing right now. And I don't mean waves. I mean in general. Waves is not hit so badly. So, also memes as always. Yeah, hi. Our Korean community, I would say like the most important member in our Korean community, which has been supporting us for half a year. Hi, my friend. Although the cryptocurrency market is weak, Koreans have recently increased their interest in waves due to the good news of Upbit. Exactly, I forgot to mention that so, because there's some kind of like old news, and I think it happened at the beginning of the week. Yeah, on Tuesday. Upbit has finally removed the warning. They have this warning that basically prevented people from trading waves, and also they had disabled the deposits. So basically made trading waves on Bybit like impossible, obviously. Bit. But and we have been in discussion with them for maybe half a year at least. I remember that we started this November last year, and we were trying to explain to them that like this situation that we had with USDM would have no impact on waves because it worked differently. But probably they were somehow like afraid of the community reaction because of Luna situation. So basically, we explained them everything, and during maybe the last month, we didn't have much conversations. We were just waiting, and because we couldn't do anything, the ball was in their court, but they came through finally, and they removed that warning. I'm grateful. The reason has prevailed, I would say, you know, because yeah, I understand that USDM was the failed project, and I admit that, no problem with that. It was like it could be abused, and like at the end of the day, it was abused. But it's not Luna in any case because it has no connection to Waves, like no technical connections. And finally, we were able to explain it, and I'm grateful to them, you know, because they I'm not a big fan of centralized exchanges, as you know, but it doesn't matter because it's always about like some kind of people relations, and I am glad and I am grateful that we were able to find some common ground. So I'm happy, and I'm happy to be able to maybe promote wave technology in Korea, because we never actually did that, you know, consistently. There have been some attempts before, like maybe like very sporadic attempts from time to time, a couple events, a couple meetups, but we have never been consistent. And I think we have a very big Korean community, at least people who hold waves, So, but it's a good start after all. So maybe we should double down and try and promote waves in Korea. Maybe I'll come there in summer for some meetups. Let's see how it goes. Okay. I have a question. Is there any plans to decrease the vesting days? Depending on the price of XTM, basically. So if we're able to increase it somehow, not somehow, but through the things that we're like doing right now. For example, the miners proposal, because if it is accepted, XTM should do much better, because a very significant portion of wave supply, wave inflation will go to XTM buyback, and all the XTM that will be bought back is burned. So it should increase the price considerably. And in this case, probably we could come up with some proposal, some governance proposal to decrease the vesting days. Oh, nice meme. Russian girl and like the beautiful face. Yeah, don't know her name, but she's cool. Alexandra, Sasha, the question about new projects. Maybe it would be better to invest in development of the new projects instead of saving the old, where people just sell their tokens. Thanks. So yeah, so there's this proposal from Puzzle. Today they had this issue last week when they were hacked through the oracles. Basically, it's a very common attack in DeFi. But what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I think you should help Puzzle. So Vladimir came up with this proposal, and I support it because I think Puzzle is an important product for Waves, and Vladimir is a very active, engaged developer. And they have a lot of things actually. They have lending, they have swaps, they have NFT markets. They have a very bright future, which of course depends on the future of Waves in a way, But they're like independent team, and I think they have their own pipeline. So they have been like independent for many months, maybe like basically Vladimir is like an independent developer on Waves. So I think you should support him, because supporting him is support Waves. And I think Puzzle has a pretty well-balanced tokenomics, actually. And Vladimir is very active and has a very active community. So it's up to you to decide, but I would vote for the proposal. If you mean Puzzle. Saving all, if you mean, for example, because some people think that this minor proposal is saving XTM, like USDM. It's not like that. It's somehow like saving the ecosystem, because if we are able to resolve this issue with XTM/USDM, basically we can resolve all the issues in the ecosystem, because it all boils down to USDN situation, more or less. And the USDN that is like being bought back is not like stashed away or reused, it's just burned. So basically we're like erasing the surplus of USDM, which is like not needed, and through this we in a way bring it back to life as some kind of index token. But at the same time, don't forget what this index is. It is the index of Waves ecosystem. So basically what we are doing, we are like bringing Waves ecosystem back to normalcy. So it's not about like saving some project or saving some people or like, paying money to some people. No, it's not about that. It's like decentralized. The money would not go to the treasury or it would not go to issue new USDN/XTN to be used to buy it back and burn, basically. So I think it's a very reasonable thing to do. I probably should be not so. I shouldn't dwell for so long on each question because I think I should catch up with the questions. But in any case, yeah. When will be the next batch for Power Token? Galka is asking. There's a lot of questions about the distribution of power to serve holders. I think we'll do that as next because I have been receiving those questions for weeks by now. Let's drop some power to serve, I guess. Puzzle is a good project. It is, yes. Don't worry about the Korean community. I'll be protecting waves. Thank you, my friend. Bring them all to the FUD channel. Absolutely. We need more action here. And there was a very active member, which hates my guts now. He was like, it's okay. Yeah, he was a very active supporter of waves. He actually made very good memes. SU. I don't know his real name because he's anonymous. Okay. And he was like very effective in this channel. He was able to rile people up, like, but he's not here. So summon him back, guys. Please bring him back because I'm missing him. He's on Twitter, but like, okay, his Twitter is not so big. But he somehow doesn't want to be here because he thinks that's like, okay. I don't care. But in any case, I think this channel is good and has a future. I think So I think this chat will have to be like maybe the only unmoderated chat in crypto, like totally unmoderated. Only like spam links are deleted, and even those are deleted through voting or through a voting bot. It would be awesome, guys. Because it's like environment is kind of unusual. When like no holds barred, everybody can say whatever they want. It's good. I like it, especially now when there is so much dictatorship in the world. Let's just have this space absolutely free and open to everyone. So currently it is dedicated to the issues that we're having, but once those issues are over, and they will be over, I think that this should become something else, a place where nothing is banned and all opinions are allowed. Sasha, please mention burn extend proposal on PowerDAO. Yeah. So I don't remember. I think I talked to the project founder. I think it's a good project actually. So it's very simple. It also like works on puzzle multi-pools, which are pretty unique, I think, and makes total sense to me. So it's a very straightforward proposal and very helpful because it is doing what we are trying to do. We are trying to burn XTN, and burn XTN is burning XTN, obviously. So this is what we can not support. So vote for burn XTN because it's good and useful. Bring back Sue. Yeah, come back, man. Yeah. We need like some real haters here. Like because your heat is burning bright, and I like it. But I don't hate him, so I like him, and he's a good guy. The times are not good. Oh, when Coinbase, I don't want to deal with the US crypto market anymore, guys. Let me not go into too much detail, but I think the Americans fucked up badly, like badly, and they're like fucking up still. So like they're like bent on fucking up completely, I think. So let's just see how it goes in the US, because like all those things when people really discuss default for the US, it's like, man, you couldn't have imagined that like a year ago, but it's happening, and you think, guys, you are not so smart as everybody thought you were. So like, and I totally misjudged the US crypto market, and I admit to that. It's my bad. When we change rebranding until the end of the month, I think. So basically next week it should happen. Bring back the cat if you want it. I don't know. I don't think it was so amazing. It was like it was a cat, just a cat. Okay, it's like it was like a fun thing, some kind of Easter egg. Maybe we should come up with something new. Uh, Yeah, guys, let's just okay. Let me not like let's just speak in the chat, I guess. In news about the VCs, I'm talking. There is some progress. Maybe it will be announced. Maybe in June. It's not fast, and maybe we should tweak our pitch a little. I have a couple ideas here, but it's kind of complicated because it depends on many things. Also, let's wait how the miners vote, because it's quite important. So if they vote for the current proposal, we move in one direction. If they vote against, we will have to move in some other direction. But those directions will be both pointing forward. so, but they will be different. So we need to wait for this, because as you know, funding and finances are very important. And as you know, the part of miners' rewards, if this proposal is accepted, will go to Waste DAO. So that could potentially provide some kind of a vehicle to fund the ecosystem projects. And in this case, there's going to be one scenario. But if they vote against, there's going to be another scenario. So let's wait a little. When full relaunching of yours? Yes, actually, good question. It's kind of like working, but people don't use it. Yeah. So we need to do some kind of a proper relaunch. You're right. Let's focus on that in June. No video quack, please. Yeah, I know what that guy is gonna do, but we have seen his balls already. So if you want to see his balls again, you can probably message him, and he'll be happy to send you some balls pic. So yeah. But I'm not excited about that. So okay. If he wants, he can ask his questions in the chat, and I will reply. Any plans for Neutrino? No movement seems to happen for the past few weeks. Yeah, so we are waiting for the proposal. As for new mechanics, there's going to be this trading bot that you mentioned, or somebody else mentioned. Maybe I think it was you. And it's almost ready, but you need this thing on virus to release XTN. And virus team was focused on other things, but now I think they will be able to do that. I can't practice English like this. I think you can just like, yeah, practice your written English, you know. What will happen with Surf? Surf actually should do fine if extend does fine. If minor proposal is accepted, extend should do pretty well, actually. Because people will see, it's not only about like buyback, people will see the long-term perspective, you know, they will understand that XTN will be bought back from the market, like maybe over months, over maybe even years. So in this case, Surf is gonna do very fine actually. And yeah, so basically Surf is gonna do fine if XTN does fine, XTN does fine. If with the system is okay, you know, so yeah, and basically, as you know, all the issues that we're facing, actually including the gateway problems, are going back to USDN debug and USDN failure as a stable coin. So if we are able to mitigate the results of that bad thing, everything is fine, including Surf. And what we are doing now to mitigate that, miners' proposal is very important. So get the miners to vote for. If you lease some waste to those miners, ask them to vote for the proposal. This is my this is what I'm really concerned about. This is what I want to ask you. Please get them to vote. Probably, you know, so it could be good if like everybody votes, not some minors, but everybody, because we need to be on the same page here. Minors are against the proposal. It's not good. Yeah, but let's see how it goes. I sent you a proposal to include neutrino virus and power DAO. Yeah, I remember that. Yes, I think we can actually do that. And it should be done because at the end of the day, all ecosystem projects have to work through the Power DAO protocol because it can work for any DAO, you know. So yeah, it's a good idea. I remember it. Extend buyback is very important because it resolves all the issues that we are having. And it will, if you care about the waste price, it's the best way to help waste price go up as well. If you don't understand that, I can explain again, basically, but I think you understand. Bring back the cat. Okay, guys, you should vote for it. If you like the cat, I like ducks, as you know. I'm allergic to cats. Pump waste to top 50. Why don't you pump it? You know, like everybody would be very grateful to you for that. When trading bots, as I said like 2 times, but it's okay, I can repeat. Depends on virus. Virus team has to enable withdrawals of XTM to the bot. But bot is not a problem actually. If you want to bring back the cat, I think it should be different cat. You know? Okay. Quack is at it actually. I have a cat. Please send his picture or her picture. Okay. Did you find out about ergo withdrawals. Let me just, I messaged right before the AMA actually. Let me, and I think I think ergo should be fine. Yeah, yeah, let me just like, okay. How long, in your opinion, this ecosystem will be regenerating, like coming back to life? I think we need to come up with some kind of a breakthrough now, so because we can, because what was happening in waves always, it wasn't very, how to say, like, let's say it hasn't been good, you know. We always had some issues we had to fight, you know. So maybe it's time to end that, and maybe time to like try to make some kind of a faster progress, not to try to defend the ecosystem, but try to be more active and to be on the offensive, you know. So, but so the problem is you need to come up with something very cool technically, because it doesn't make sense to create any kind of hype for just for hype. I've never done that, so I want to come up with something good in terms of like blockchain development. And it's not so easy now because the technology has its limitations, unfortunately. And maybe we should come up with totally different ideas, not waves, but like blockchain community in general. And there is some directions that we want to pursue, mostly around zero knowledge proofs. There is some ideas, but we need to finalize and make sure that this thing is gonna make sense for decades. It's not gonna be some hype that will be dead in a year or two. It should be something that can work maybe in 20 years. So even if we need to resolve our current issues fast, it doesn't mean that we need to try to launch something that would just resolve the problems, but will be useless in about a year. So I just can't do that because it's a waste of time. We need to come up with something that will work for decades to come. Let me scroll back a little. Power airdrop to stakers is a good idea, actually. Yeah, let me think. Your AMA is boring without my question. Please ask here. Just like nobody else wants to speak, but you. Just type your question. The depth of BSD is higher than amount of BSD tokens on Waves network. How do you plan to resolve it? That on virus, I'll check actually. It's kind of like I have to check that. Strange. No video, please. If you want to show the community your balls again, you can do it here if you want it so badly. Alexandra, I mean, we have a lot of different functional blockchains like Aptos, Arbitrum, Sui. How we can compete with them? Sui, Aptos are Solana clones, more or less. Solana is not a bad project, actually. It's very reasonable. It has to exist. Arbitrum is gonna die sooner or later because this technology is kind of really, you know, how to say, really lacking compared to zero knowledge proofs. They use optimistic consensus, and it's not something that can work for decades, you know, because I think zero knowledge is something very unique. It's not ready maybe for production yet, but people are launching this in production already. For example, Polygon, great guys. It's not really, you know, resolving any issues in cryptocurrency because it's some kind of prototype still. But the future is very bright for zero knowledge, I think. And I would go into that direction. As for Solana-like blockchains, they will exist as well because they have a totally different approach to scalability, superalization, you know, so it's different. How can we compete? We can create something better. This is the only way. Okay, Quack, post it. If you want it, post it. Let's open extend bot in testnet. Good idea, actually. Moonkit from Moonkit. When will you keep such untransparent products as LP staking Lambo? No. When the Blix is launched, there's going to be some derivative staking products, but they will be working as, if you know why earn, like the first thing, this like derivative product that built on other smart contracts, some kind of like smart contracts aggregator. And this is going to happen on WX as well, but it's going to be all fully decentralized and transparent because it's also a problem with maybe with the smart contract language that we have. It's quite flexible and actually it has more features as, for example, solidity. But there is some kind of a drawback, so to say. It's quite easy not to create fully decentralized contracts, you know. So and now we understand that, and we need to make sure that everything is fully decentralized, can be changed, immutable, and so on and so forth. So on UWX, there's not going to be any kind of like semi-decentralized products. They all will be properly decentralized. I was going development with Waste 2.0. There's like two branches here. The current chain, there's this idea with state changes. I posted it in the Node channel, and it has been developed. It's like we are coding it. The Node team is coding this. And there's the other direction, mostly focused on the future of Waves, on Waves 2.0. And there's still several options. So we are doing some research, some experiments to choose one option. And as soon as it's chosen, I will let you know. So despite all those issues, this is what I'm mostly focused on at the moment. Not because I don't want to resolve the issues, but because if we are able to move forward in this direction of Waste 2.0, it will at the same time solve all our previous problems. Share your opinion on East, please. Yes, I forgot to mention East. It's like slowly launching. It's like, as far as I understand, it's in some kind of like slow launch phase, like soft launch. But it's East, it is like, it's on one hand, it's a DAI clone with multi-collateral, but I think it will diverge from DAI. There's going to be new functionality added in future. Also, there's a governance token, which is lucrative because there is staking for it. And I think we need to have, maybe it's not like a completely unique project, but we need to have such a project on Waves because actually DAI mechanics for stable coins turn out to be the only working mechanics. Those like collateralized depth positions probably now are the only working approach to creating stable coins that can be easily abused. So we need to have this on Waves. And East is doing exactly that. And there is like pools launching for East at the moment on WX. And I think there's going to be more marketing. And I'm not like directly involved because Waves ecosystem is not so small actually. There is a lot of teams and we are very geographically distributed as well. So, but I fully support them, and I think that this is a project that should exist on Waves. It makes total sense, and please take a look. If you want to like participate in this project, maybe you can take a look at their governance token, which should provide a good staking interest. Looks like Waves Army hashtag is down on Twitter these days. Yeah, we should revive it because I wasn't pushing it, but it's time to start pushing it again and actually use it. Today, when I posted about the power DAO, so Waves Army shall rise again. Make Waves great. Not again, but just great. And maybe some kind of collaboration with other chains will be good. I think so, actually, yeah. I think so. Maybe some bridges, but like you should speak with Pepe team probably regarding that. Because they are the team that connects Waves ecosystem to other chains. Yeah, BUSD is not a problem, guys. It's like it didn't have any accounting error so much. It should be okay. Okay, guys. It's not so exciting today. Let's just, I don't know, maybe some FUD. Give me some FUD. FUD. Fear, uncertainty, doubt. Uncertainty and doubt are fine. Fear is not fine. But okay. No, Quark. No, we don't want to see your balls. We have seen them. Not so impressed. Not so impressed. When Bohemian Grove meetup? What's Bohemian Grove? I think I'll be in Europe next week, by the way. Maybe yeah, if somebody wants to see me in Switzerland, next week I should be there. I'll post on Twitter. Make FUD great again. Yeah, definitely, guys. Yeah. When Waves FUD conference. Yeah, okay, next week. I can meet some people in Europe if you're willing to see me. I don't know the exact date, but next week I think we can do that. Okay, so next week, miners voting, more proposals in ways DAO, maybe some more virus proposals, new information about the gateways, old gateways, some tokens should be phased out. What else? And yeah, we're always working on new ideas. So I'm really like concerned about Waves 2.0. This is what is the most important. So if we finalize this, I will let you know as well. And maybe relaunch, not maybe, but I think there should be a relaunch of Waves dot exchange as WX dot network. On a domain without legacy. And after that, I think we can start somehow like bringing more people, promoting, and it should increase the fees, which should in turn increase the buyback amount. So yeah, things are starting to move. I'm not gonna say that we're gonna turn things around. I was thinking about this phrase. No, probably we don't have to turn things around anymore, guys. We should just take things into a totally different direction. You know, this is what we should do. Quark, I love you, but I don't want to see your balls. Like, I'm not a fan at all. This is not the worst thing I've seen in my life, but it's like top five. Top five. Okay, a couple more questions. Yeah, I love your ex too. Yeah, I should ask the Ducks team what their plans are because they're kind of independent right now, and I'm not really able to focus on this right now. I have some ideas, but I won't tell you now. Okay, guys, always a pleasure. Pod more. Really, you should pod more. Lots of things are happening. Votings, participate, suggest your projects, be active. I love you all, including the work of others. Happy to see you all. Power to the people. Ride on waves. I wish you a very productive week. See you next Friday. I love you all. Bye, guys.